Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for checking the video out today. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover here today. So as always, before we get into these topics, do me a favor. If you do end up enjoying this video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. Really does help the videos a lot. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. So the first topic we're talking about is a rumor. So I'm going to let you know right off the bat to take it with a pinch of salt, but it's still a relatively interesting rumor. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says God of War Ragnarok gameplay is now expected in August, possibly in a dedicated State of Play event. After an excruciating wait, fans finally got a release date, pre-order information, and a look at the game's various editions yesterday, but all of this was accompanied by a CG trailer rather than actual gameplay. A verified Reset Era insider who previously dismissed reports of a God of War Ragnarok State of Play in June and July has hinted that we'll finally see something in August. So with God of War Ragnarok releasing in November 2022, it makes sense for Sony to reveal its gameplay sometime in August. Previous reports have suggested that Sony has a major event planned in September, but considering those reports were associated with the reveal of a non-existent new Sly Cooper, we're not sure we believe them to be true. The Reset Era insider in question, named Ashong, was the only insider who said back in May that fans shouldn't expect a God of War Ragnarok State of Play anytime soon, which has turned out to be true, since we haven't seen anything in 2 months. Expect something in August, basically, is what Ashong said about God of War Ragnarok's gameplay before Sony's blog posts went live. There could very well be the release date or whatever before then, though. At this point, we've heard many God of War Ragnarok State of Play rumors, so it's hard to believe any of them. However, Ashong has a good history and seems credible, so we're hoping they're right. So again, I do want to emphasize, do not put all of your stock in a rumor like this. We know not to do that by this point. I also want to say, one of the main reasons I wanted to cover this rumor in particular is because not only does this individual seem to have a pretty good track record and is verified on Reset Era, but most importantly, they're not being super ambiguous. I mean, of course, they're not giving specific dates or anything, but they're also not trying to turn anything into a riddle. They're just essentially saying something is expected to happen in August. Now, obviously, this could just be somebody taking an educated guess and hoping they're right, but it seems like they weren't taking educated guesses previously, and they ended up being correct about a few different things. So a State of Play in August would be cool. I did see some people speculating that maybe they're referring to a PlayStation event in general, and I will end this topic by saying, as we know by now, it's pretty much impossible to accurately predict what Sony's going to do. They could do a State of Play this month, they could do a State of Play in August, they could do an event in August, they could do nothing until September. We really don't know. For those who are very eager and hoping to see more gameplay sometime soon, which I think is understandable, because for as cool as that CG trailer was, it was still just a CG trailer. I think some people really want to see some more gameplay, or at the very least another story trailer. It seems like if this individual is to be believed, we will be getting that sometime in August. So in the meantime, we'll just sit back and wait patiently and see what Sony ends up doing. The next topic talks about a leak in regards to July 2022's PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium games. So this is something that we're going to see happen on a monthly basis. Obviously, every month we look forward to the regular PlayStation Plus games lineup, but on top of that, we're going to be getting more for PS Plus Extra and Premium. Again, reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, it says it looks like some of the PS Plus Extra July 2022 games have been leaked. Reset Era user Blackbait, who has a pretty good track record when it comes to leaks, has said that a number of Assassin's Creed games and heavy hitters like Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade and Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode Intermission will accompany the previously announced Cat Adventure Stray. So as of now, these are the games that are going to be joining PlayStation Plus Extra: Stray, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade plus Episode Intermission, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered, Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, Assassin's Creed The Ezio Collection, and Saints Row 4 Re-Elected. The article continues by saying the inclusion of a number of Assassin's Creed games suggests that July's PS Plus Extra and Premium drop will contain Ubisoft Plus titles. As a reminder, PS Plus Extra and Premium users will get access to Ubisoft Plus Classics at no additional cost. There will be about 50 games in the lineup by the end of this year, and it's worth noting that the individual leaking this is stressing that these are some of the games, so it seems like this is not the entire list. And so, yeah, if you are somebody who is subscribed to PS Plus Extra or Premium, let me know what you think about this. If it is to be believed, do you think this is a solid lineup? From what I can tell, I think this is looking pretty solid, you know, for the first month after the official launch of this service. I mean, getting something like Stray is great, but also on top of that, getting Final Fantasy VII Remake and a bunch of Assassin's Creed games, and hopefully some more that will be joining as well. Let me know your thoughts about that, and obviously I will update you guys when Sony officially announces that. Next up, we're talking about a new Pro Dualsense controller that was just revealed. It's called the Hex Rival Pro, and it says here there aren't many alternatives to the DualSense for PS5. Sony hasn't been especially open to third-party peripheral manufacturers since the PS4 debuted. If you want a decent controller and wireless functionality, first party is really your only choice. Fortunately, Hex Gaming decided to think outside the box, and it recently announced its Hex Rival Pro custom DualSense controller. The Hex Rival Pro controller enhances a standard DualSense with a host of new features. The end result is a gamepad that has the look and feel of products like the Xbox Elite Series 2, and it retains the functionality of a first-party controller. So the controller is going to start at $200, and it is completely customizable. You will be able to get it in different colors and different combinations, and you can really just kind of do whatever you want. And some of the features that it's going to offer: comfort and ergonomic button layout for optimal control. You can enhance your precision with interchangeable thumbsticks. You can get hair triggers for very fast response times, and they will offer more options for high performance. You can add comfort and grip with an unmatched faceplate and components that fit your controller's look and feel. And they also offer a backplate that improves comfort and control. So yeah, we recently talked about rumors of a Pro DualSense that is apparently in the works officially at Sony, but there's also third-party options like this, and so I figured I would let you guys know about it. I don't know how many of you are interested in stuff like this. Me personally, right now, I'm okay with the DualSense as it is. I don't really feel the need to, you know, pay a premium price for a third-party controller like this, but I will definitely be interested to see what Sony does if they end up doing a Pro controller. So let me know what you think about this controller and whether or not it's something you might be interested in. Moving on from that, we have a little bit of new information about Final Fantasy VII Remake, specifically Rebirth. And so, reading from WCCF Tech, it says Square Enix developers did a round of interviews with Japanese media such as Famitsu on the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy, which Twitter user Xenosaga promptly translated. There are lots of interesting tidbits, such as the confirmation that there won't be any location cuts, although the order of places might change from the original. We also learned that at some point, the Square Enix developers were considering Final Fantasy VII Remake as a duology, though this eventually was ultimately discarded in favor of a trilogy. And as some fans might have already guessed, even the third game in the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy will have a subtitle starting with R. So, you know, we're going to have Remake, Rebirth, and then maybe you can guess what the last one's going to be. But I think the most important piece of information here by far is Square Enix letting us know that they are not going to be cutting any locations. I think that's a pretty big deal and something that's very important to people. But it is worth noting that they did say the order of places might change from the original. So I don't know if that's something that fans are against. I'm going to assume they're not against it. I think actually some people like this because it makes it feel a little bit fresh and there's something maybe unexpected, a bit of a surprise maybe in the order in which you experience these different locations. So there you go. That's your small update on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The next topic talks about an interesting patent that was filed by Sony. This patent is in regards to an MMO processing system, and this could potentially support some of their upcoming live service titles, which we know Sony has many in development. I believe they have 12, which is crazy to think about. But it says here from PlayStation Universe, Sony's latest patent filing is one that points directly to the company's future, in that it is a patent for an MMO processing system, something that could potentially play a big role in the coming years for PlayStation. The patent details a system that would take advantage of different networks, compute units, and the cloud. It's been made clear that part of the future of PlayStation this generation will be multiplayer and live service games, with 2 unannounced games set to be revealed this fiscal year, according to Jim Ryan. There's also the multiplayer project that Haven Studios is working on, and we got recent hints that Bend Studios' next project will also be a multiplayer game. On top of that, we know about Naughty Dog's Last of Us multiplayer game, which could potentially utilize something like this. You also have London Studio that is likely working on a game that will take advantage of this. They're working on a big multiplayer game. And so, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about this because you can clearly see that Sony is taking this stuff very seriously. And I definitely believe that some of these live service titles that Sony is bringing out will be MMOs or MMO-light titles, you know, games that are just offering these persistent worlds and, you know, you're going to be able to just kind of team up with people. I'm definitely getting that feeling here. But we're moving on to the next topic, which talks about E3 and its return. Once again, from PlayStation Universe, it says E3 will indeed be back in 2023, though it won't be the ESA running the show this time, as it announced a partnership with ReedPop to run next year's event. ReedPop are the same company who organize annual shows like PAX, Star Wars Celebration, and New York Comic-Con, and also own websites Eurogamer, Rock Paper Shotgun, GamesIndustry.biz, and VG247. With ReedPop now in the driver's seat, it can be expected that the E3 we see next year won't look like something put on by the ESA, or at least the one that exists in 2022. It almost sounds like ReedPop will try to bring the event back to its golden days. For years, we've listened, heard, and studied the gaming community's feedback. E3 2023 will be recognizably epic, said ReedPop's global vice president of gaming. So, yeah, I wanted to let you guys know about this because it seems like every time we think E3 is pretty much done, we find out it's not. And maybe this is a good thing, you know? I mean, we know Jeff Keighley puts on Summer Game Fest, and he made it clear that that's coming back again next year. But I'm going to be honest, guys, it was pretty underwhelming this year, if I'm being frank. And you do really start to feel the nostalgia for those big E3 days. And, you know, I have no idea what to expect with this. I think it's safe to say that Sony's not going to be a part of it. And because of that, I feel like most of us are probably automatically not going to be as interested. But still, if they can kind of bring E3 back in a big way and make it somewhat exciting again, I think that's better than it just fading away completely. So let me know your thoughts about that. The final topic we have to go over here is something that I've seen a lot of you asking me to talk about. It has to do with Rockstar and how they announced that they're not bringing any more major content updates to Red Dead Online, seemingly abandoning it. And they made it clear that all of their focus is on GTA 6, so pretty much putting all their eggs in one basket. Reading from PlayStation Universe, it says Rockstar has been under fire for its treatment of Red Dead Online for some time now, and it doesn't look like that'll be stopping anytime soon. Today, Rockstar updated the community in a blog post on how it plans to change its approach to Red Dead Online support. The biggest change being that Rockstar will not be releasing any major content updates for the game this year, but rather build on existing modes. So this is what they had to say. Over the past few years, we have been steadily moving more development resources towards the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, understanding more than ever the need to exceed players' expectations for this next entry to be the best it can possibly be. And as a result, we are in the process of making some changes to how we support Red Dead Online. Alongside seasonal special events and experience improvements, plus other changes to enhance and maintain a healthy Red Dead Online environment, we plan to build upon existing modes and add new Telegram missions this year, rather than delivering major themed content updates like in previous years. This will mark another year without a major content update for Red Dead Online, while the rest of the blog post speaks on all the new things coming to GTA Online. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Red Dead Online community was planning to hold a funeral next week, I think. Sometime soon, they're holding some kind of informal funeral for this game, which it's understandable why they would do this. It's really sad, in my opinion, to see what has happened to Rockstar Games. There's no doubt that they are going to have to work hard to exceed expectations with GTA 6. And I do think that it's imperative that they put a lot into it. But this is absolutely the definition of putting all of your eggs in one basket, and this is why I think people can't stand live service games that become immensely successful, and why we have a little bit of fear with Sony pursuing so many live service games, because This is not what Rockstar used to be. Rockstar used to actually care about making games, about trying new things and putting out new products on top of, things like GTA. But with the major success of GTA Online, it's actually gotten to a point where they're not even willing to continue to support their other online component, that being Red Dead Online. I mean, come on. Everybody knew Red Dead Online would never be as successful as GTA Online, but to think that they're just pretty much abandoning it so soon while still putting all of this effort into GTA Online, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I mean, it really does make you wonder if this truly is what Rockstar Games is going to be for forever, and that the old Rockstar is just pretty much gone. I understand why they are putting so much into GTA 6 and the GTA franchise. I don't fault them for that, but I do think it's just kind of insane that they're literally putting all of their eggs in one basket. So I hope for their sake GTA 6 ends up being everything that it needs to be. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, if you did, be sure to leave it a like. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.